most people, when they think of sweep picking, if they think of it at all, they think of stuff like that, these big arpeggios. And I apologize, I'm going to be a little messy. It's going to be messy for a while. I'm trying some new angles. If you watch my recent videos, I haven't been using a thumb pick until yesterday, so I'm rusty, and I'm trying to get how I file these down. I'm changing them a little bit, so it's a work in progress. So picking and stuff. It's okay, but it doesn't feel right. You know, I got my files. Anyway, enough about that. Sweeping, most people think of these big arpeggios, right? All right? And yes, that is a part of it. But using sweeping in a more, I mean, if you're playing Cacophony and Racer X stuff, yeah, you'll be doing that a lot, but in normal music and like in jazz and stuff, I mean, if you're playing giant steps and you start going like, oh my god, what is it? Like, you know, you're gonna get fired. So sweep picking, like when you the only guy that really does it to, I don't even want to say it's full potential, but really gets in there is Frank Gambale. And while I'm not a big fan of him musically, his technique is ridiculous. I mean, all he does is sweep. You don't really hear him doing legato or alternate picking. I mean, of course, there's alternate picking weaved in there. You don't hear him tapping. It's just, same thing with Alan Holdsworth. You just pretty much, I'm not saying these guys can't do everything, but, you know, Holdsworth, you just pretty much hear him doing legato. There might be an acoustic, there might be something with him playing an acoustic and he does some crazy picking stuff, but again, these guys have developed that technique to the point where it's just pure madness. So Gambale does a lot more smaller things and little arpeggios, and that's how it works in jazz and in rock as well. So when I started getting into sweeping, what I did is I kind of started breaking it down. I was like, all right, instead of these big arpeggios, which I did first, which was kind of dumb, and a lot of people kind of skip to that, what I did is I started coming up with different patterns, and basically the simplest pattern for sweeping is down, down, up. All right, you need, what sweep picking is, in case you don't know, is when you go across strings, go in the same direction. All right, so you need at least 2 strings to go in the same direction more than one. So let's take a down, down, up, okay? The easiest way to do that, let's take the key of C, let's just take A minor arpeggio, down, down, up. So I'll play A, I'll go down on A, down on C, and then up on the E. So I've got 2 notes on the first string. I'm just doing down, down, up. Now, just with that, you could do different triad patterns. I could go down a string and do E minor, F major, Alright, so let's try something else. Let's add to that. So we did the A minor here. Let's try it on the 3rd and 2nd string. So we're going to play the same exact pattern. A, downstroke, C, downstroke, and then up on the E. And as I always say, I tune in fourths. I tune differently than you, so don't look at my fingers. Just think of the notes. If you don't know the notes, go figure them out. It'll take you 2 seconds. A, C, E, down, down, up. And repeat. Now you can do chord progressions. I'll do kind of a neoclassical sounding thing. I'll go to A major, D minor, G, C, you know. So there's that. And of course you can do that on all the strings. Which brings me to my next thing, which is going to be changing either the top note or the bottom note. For that A minor we just did on the third and second strings, we are going to skip the E. Well, you can do two things. First, let's do the A minor with the E, but we're going to change the fingering. We're going to do A, C, E. So now we're doing 3 strings, but it's still down, down, up. This is a little more tricky. Whoa, it's actually hard for me because I never do that. And again, we're not trying to you're not going to get this like insanely fast. This is not one of those exercises. You're building your right hand technique. You're building the ability to do 2 downs or 2 ups or 3 downs and 3 ups. You know what I mean? We're starting with down, down, up, but you're going to get into, and we can get into more later. I'll do more videos. But you're building up a technique. You want to get the timing and the tone right, so it doesn't sound like you're not raking. You're staying in time, and the tone is pretty even. And so we can do that. Now another thing you can do is you can alternate notes. For example, instead of that A, C, E we just did on the 3 strings, go back to the first one we did, A, C, E with 2 notes on the second string. You can change the top note. Now I'll alternate between E on the second string and A on the first string. Now if I go down to G, if I change the chord, you'll hear like, yeah, you know, we do some stuff like this. That's hard. God, it's been a long time since I did that. I have my little patterns that I do, you know? So it's been a long time since I actually sat down and did these, which I'll probably start to do more of. So I'm trying to think, and now lastly, another one you can do would be alternating the bottom note. So let's take that first one we did down here, the A minor here. We're starting on A, C, E, down, down, up. Now I'll just alternate the first note. I'll start on A, then I'll go to E. And you could go. That gets really hard, but you get the drift. Change the top note, change the bottom note. I guess you can do both. Let me see if I can pull this off. So if I go back up here, I'll change the top note and the bottom note.